3, go.
Hi there. I wanted to share my story of my experience with infertility because it was such a devastating time for me, and I know that so many women out there are going through the same thing. And Celine Dion, very high profile person, well, she's now so happy because she's pregnant and she's having twins, no less. But she went through a lot to get to those twins and even to have her first son, who's now 9 years old. And so my experience with infertility happened after I already had 2 children and had no trouble getting pregnant with the first 2. And then it just seemed like we ran into these most insurmountable issues when we tried to conceive our third. And I spent about 2.5 years going to fertility clinics and having treatments and trying to figure out at first what was wrong and then trying to fix what was wrong and to go on and conceive. And, I don't think that for anybody who hasn't been through it, that they can really understand how awful it is to not be able to have a baby when that's the one thing that you want most in the world. You want to have a child, you want to have a family, and month after month after month, you just can't make it happen. And it really does become an obsession. You can think of just nothing else besides getting pregnant and having that baby. And then for some of us, including myself, it's going down the road to look at all the different options that there are. I really looked hard at adopting. We started all the proceedings to adopt. We really were so anxious to have a baby. At least I was. I just wanted a baby in my arms. And I would sit in the waiting room, with 10 other mothers, or want-to-be mothers, I really should say, at a time. And we were all just sitting there day after day, because sometimes you'd have to go every single day to get your blood levels checked and your eggs checked. And we would just be all sitting there so depressed and so anxious and so stressed out and so hoping that this month it would happen for us. And I think it's a very, very alone experience, even though you're with other women, at the clinic, because you see the same women there every day too. Because it seems when you can't have a baby, that you're surrounded by people who can, and that you have friends and relatives that it's happening like that for them. And you just feel like you're completely out of it. You are on another planet from the planet that they're on. They're on the planet of happiness, and you are not. You're on the planet of just desperation, really, because that's how you become. So I think it's really good, though, to know that other women have been through it and that you can come out on the other side in some way. You can make your dream of having a baby happen, whether it is through pursuing fertility treatments and they end up working, like Celine Dion, going through adoption, like many people do. My sister-in-law and brother adopted. They have the most beautiful little girl that they adopted. Or surrogacy, like Sarah Jessica Parker. Whatever it is that works for you, you can make it happen. But I think it's good to know that other women can understand what you're going through, that you really aren't alone. So anyway, tell me what you think. You can share your stories. I'd like to hear from you. Bye-bye.